Take out my video at the end.
Deal.
We'll play it at halftime because we already tweeted it.
Probably better.
So, Johnny, my monologue video, we're going to just play it at halftime.
Shut me out now. Tony. Yeah. Walk out of Louis looking like a virgin discount. If it ain't a if a chick with me, she like foreign cars. If a chick like go yard. If a chick with me, she like protein.
Well, hello, friends. It is Benjamin Paris and Matthew Anderson welcoming you into the broadcast booth for Week 3 of Colorado High School football on CCSN. Tonight, it's the Grandview Wolves coming to Cherry Creek to play the Bruins. Matthew, me and you, we talked earlier this week, and, you know, there is a football game tonight, but we realized once we get to each Thursday or Friday night, it's really just a gift to be here because of the times that we're living in.
Yeah, Ben, let's be appreciative of the games we have. We have 3 games so far. This is our 3rd game, and we're just lucky to have it. While we continue to social distance, wear a mask, wash our hands, we need to remember that these aren't guaranteed, and moving forward, it's just a privilege to have them.
You know, that's a great message, and, you know, we know these games can get pulled just like that, and we saw it happen, you know, to basketball and spring sports in March, so we are truly lucky to get here. Let's talk about the game now. First off, I want to talk about Julian Hammond, Marte Russell for Cherry Creek, the quarterbacks on both these teams, and the guys protecting them.
Yeah, so if we head into these quarterbacks, we have 2 really skilled sets of quarterbacks on both sides. First, we have Julian Hammond, obviously QB1, and his backup, Marte Russell, who we've seen through 2 games because Cherry Creek's had that opportunity to get ahead, as well as Jacob Burr for Grandview, who's had a bit of a rocky start, but he had a really phenomenal game for his 2nd game, as well as his backup, Jonathan Broadus, who we did see in that first game against Arapahoe because Grandview was up so high. And when it comes to the guys protecting him, we have 5 guys from Grandview, 4 juniors and a sophomore, and they're going to be facing a tough line tonight. You know, that's a group of people we've talked about as just generally skilled so far. Arden Walker, Gus Salinskis, Blake Purchase, Malik Manjekodunmi, together some like 6 sacks and over 20 tackles. So really skilled group of guys, and you know, that's what I have to say on that end.
Matthew, huge game for the circumstances. Cherry Creek coming in 2-0. They won their first 2 games. Grandview lost one, and it was you know, off the 2-point conversion, last play of the game last week. So what is really at stake for these 2 teams tonight?
Well, Ben, this is a really crucial game. At 1-1, a loss for Grandview could spell the end of their season. A win for Grandview and a loss for Creek would be pretty much putting the league up for grabs between Grandview, Eagle Crest, and Creek. A win for Cherry Creek would move their 16-game win streak to 17 games and keep Julian Hammond's perfect record as a starter alive.
Matthew, I'd love to hop into tonight's keys to the games. You know, gotta savor these keys to the game.
Well, Ben, just for you, we have 3 keys tonight for each team. For Cherry Creek, it's going to be important to come down on the rush. Right, the rush has been so critical for Cherry Creek for the past 2 weeks because it has limited the quarterback to get off passes and make breakaway runs. For halfbacks, nearly impossible, right? So that will be especially critical tonight as Grandview's quarterback, Jacob Burr, is Grandview's 2nd leading rusher. It's also going to be important for them to keep up the passing. Passing is an obvious strength for Cherry Creek, and they can count on more touchdowns tonight with Chase Penry and Gunnar Helm. 9 of their 12 touchdowns, right, have come from passing. If we can continue to see these connections tonight between Penry, Helm, O'Day, Holes, and Hammond, I think we can see a winning Cherry Creek tonight. Shutdown coverage is going to be our third and final key for Cherry Creek tonight because it has been so critical to their past victories. This is an often overlooked key because it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. In fact, Cherry Creek's defensive backcourt has gotten so good in some cases that they haven't even been targeted.
Matthew, what do we got looking for Grandview? Teams are about to take the field, so real quick, what about Grandview tonight?
Well, Grandview tonight, we have 3 keys. They're going to need to hold off that defensive rush that's been such a key theme for Cherry Creek. They got to be creative on the run. Cherry Creek's been scouting out their run game. And third and finally, they're going to have to disguise coverage and double cover if they want to keep up with Chase Penry, Kai O'Day, Gunnar Helm, and Keegan Holes.
All right, so it looks like that they are already, quick reminder, Cherry Creek Sports Network and the Colorado High School Activity Association are so proud to bring you Colorado High School football on CCSN, presented by 303 Smiles. Tonight, it's the 1-1 Wolves of Grandview and the 2-0 Bruins of Cherry Creek, and we are underway with the opening kickoff. Bruins lost the statewide toss this week, so it looks like they're going to receive, and it's going to be a touchback. And Julian Hammond and the Cherry Creek offense going to bring it out to the 20-yard line. Matthew saw lots on display from this Cherry Creek offense last week. Through the air, on the ground, we saw some real athleticism out of their wide receivers.
Absolutely, Ben. They got 4 key targets, 2 of which are 3-star recruits headed to D1 schools. And Hammond does a great job connecting with them, of course. They find a way to get open. They're great in coverage, great off releases.
So here we go. It's 1st and 10, the first play of the game for the Bruins on the 20-yard lines. Hammond going to keep it on the ground to James Walker. Walker's going to break a few moves, get up to the 30, and finally get taken down right around the 33. There's a quick 13-yard gain for the Cherry Creek Bruins to open it up, Matthew. So 1 play, 1 first down for Cherry Creek. Matthew, I don't know if the viewers could tell in our glasses pregame, but they're fogging up for me and you. Some type of precipitant coming out of the air. Weather conditions aren't favorable tonight.
Absolutely, Ben. I don't know if you can quite tell on the camera, but it looks to be like a very heavy fog coming through. It's awfully chilly down there on the field with the fog and cold weather.
Hammond take the snap. He's going to look to his right. He finds what looks to be Keegan Holes, and he slid and then caught that. He was already on the ground and had kind of slid across the field. It must be slippery out there, as we just mentioned. That one good for 8. It's going to be 2nd and 2 for Cherry Creek. And you've got O'Day and Chase Penry on the top of your screen. Looks like James Walker in the backfield for the Bruins. Behind center is Julian Hammond. He'll take a snap. Going to be another handoff to Walker. He's moving to his right and will get taken down at the 48-yard line. Looks like it's going to be good enough for a Cherry Creek first down. Matthew, I think at last check, 37 degrees out there, and it's only going to get colder as the game goes on.
Well, absolutely. They're very tough being out here in this cold weather. It is going to make throwing the football a lot harder for them tonight.
And Cherry Creek's been an offensive team, averaging, 264.5 passing yards per game. That's about 80 more passing yards per game than running yards. So you know that this team likes to throw the ball in the air. And with, looks like 4 receivers lining up, we might see Julian Hammond's first attempt tonight. Hammond, a little bit of a high snap. Gonna throw and complete to Gunnar Helm, who's gonna get across to the 40, then to the 30, all the way down to about the 20-yard line, and that's gonna be a big gain for the Bruins and a Cherry Creek first down. We saw Gunnar try to do it earlier on. He tried to hurdle a guy week 1. I think he was trying to size someone up right there.
Well, Gunnar's a guy who definitely tries to get as many yards as he possibly can. That's something big that this Cherry Creek coaching staff really tries to instill in its team. Tries to let them know, it's so important. Every single yard that you can get makes a difference for us in the end.
Helm has 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 42 yards per game, but man, crucial weapon in the Cherry Creek red zone. 9:27 left here in quarter number 1. Bruins have a 1st and 10 on the Grandview 22. Holes is going to motion towards Hammond and then go back to his original spot. Hammond's going to snap and drop back. Looks to his right side. It's up. And it's caught to Chase Penry. Touchdown, Bruins.
And that's going to be Chase Penry's 4th touchdown on the season. And the reason he's able to get these touchdowns, beat these mashups, is because he's got such great releases. He gets off the line so fast. And his coverage just can't keep up. Watch him explode off the line here. Hammond knows he's going to be open. He doesn't even have to look anywhere else. And he reaches for it. He's got a nice vertical, long arms.
Boneleg Page up for the extra point. Clears the uprights. And it is good. Penry, he's had 2 100-yard receiving games. So he's averaging, he's 200 yards on the year going into tonight, 100 yards per game. That is great. So the Bruins lead at 7-0 early. Here, that drive. Just a minute and 50 seconds, 80 yards, and a Cherry Creek score. So, Boneleg Page to kick off for Cherry Creek. By the way, Page just made his 8th extra point of the year. He's 8 for 8. He's been perfect for Cherry Creek. Has yet to kick a field goal in the, there you see it. Ball blows off the tee. Looks like we've got a little bit of wind coming out of the north. So he's going to be kicking into the wind. And here comes Boneleg Page. This one's going to be his shortest kick of the year. It's brought in at the 7. Here to the near side. Lots of space. Going to turn the corner to the 30, up to the 35, then the 40, and all the way up to the 45 before he is hit out of bounds by Tyler Tilbert. By the way, that pregame video you saw with the Cherry Creek logos had some good background music made by the wonderful Tyler Tilbert, who, member of Broadcast Media, member of CCSN. We've had a handful of guys over the year who have contributed content while playing, so that is thanks to Tyler to that, and we always love when the student athletes can contribute to the broadcast as well. So 9:02 is what Grandview has. They'll take over for their first drive of the game. They'll start on the 47-yard line after a great return.
And as we talked about in the pregame show, the Wolves O-line, all juniors and sophomores.
They're going to stay on the ground here, get to the 43-yard line of Cherry Creek. And Musoff also far for Grandview with the carry, good for a first down.
And Musa is their rushing leader by quite a heavy margin.
Averaging 115 yards per game after 2 games here. Evan Johnson in motion at the top of your screen, but it's going to be the throw, and it's intercepted by Miles Purchase. Purchase gets to the 40. Then we'll cross the 50 before he steps out of bounds. And there is Purchase's first interception of the year as he runs off to the sideline. He's excited. You see some bumps there with Chase Penry and James Walker. So we saw his first kick return at long last last week. And there, right there, we see his first interception of the year. He's finally on the board, Matthew.
And that's one reason he gets that interception there is he knows what the quarterback is thinking. He's in tune with his eyes. He probably has a pretty good idea of what the receiver is going to run for its route. So he knows exactly where to be to catch this ball, make that interception, and a crucial stop there. That gives Cherry Creek a lot of momentum and the chance here to go up by 14-0 with such great field position.
They're going to take over on the Grandview 46, Purchase's first interception of the year, Cherry Creek's second overall as a team. Hammond snap, going to hand it off to Walker again. Had a little bit of a blockade in front of him, but then he makes what looked to be almost nothing into something, and that something is an 8-yard gain for Cherry Creek.
Well, from our wide cam here, it really does look like he had no room to go, but finds a way to get through the blocks in a very effective manner. He's got that really good vision, that it allows him to take it from 2 yards to 10 yards. And that's what has made James Walker our number one rusher, Cherry Creek's number one rusher so far this year.
2nd and 3 coming up for Cherry Creek. Hamming it a drop back. A little bit of a jump pass in the hands and then dropped by Caden Caswell. The pass is incomplete. I don't know about you, Matthew. My glasses are fogging up.
That's one of the effects of the cold weather out here. In addition to the foggy glasses, that ball hits your hand. It's hard. It's cold. Your hands are cold. It's a lot harder to just reel it in. And that might cause us to see a few more rushes on the behalf of James Walker and Carlson Tan tonight, because it's just harder to make these completions in cold weather.
3rd and 3 coming up for Cherry Creek. And we've got flags down. Looks like it's going to be a neutral zone infraction on the Grandview side of things, which would give Cherry Creek a first down. And let's listen in. That's what it is. 5-yard penalty. Bruins only need 3. They got a first down right there. And after the first week, tons of penalties for the Bruins. Second week, brought it down considerably. And, but man, it just cost Grandview right there. But I think as the weeks go on, those numbers we've seen drop.
We have seen the number of penalties, and especially those penalties that come from silly mistakes, decrease over time as these teams get more practice, more experience, and sounds silly, but just kind of remember their rules. With so little practice, it has been harder to, remember your rules and not make those neutral zone infractions and false starts and other silly mistakes.
3 on the play clock for the Bruins. They just get it off. Hammond, a little bit of a throw off to Helm. Helm gets taken down,
but finds a way to get 3 yards after the tackle, after the initial contact, I should say.
He dives forward, so looks like it will be 2nd and 3 or 4 for Cherry Creek. 2nd and 3 on the 27. What do you think the Bruins are going to do here, Matthew? 2nd down.
Well, Ben, let's take a look. I mean, they've been pretty successful in the passing game so far. Fullback in the backfield.
Hammond under center. Got to give it to James Walker. He'll power through for probably 4 yards, and will give Cherry Creek a first down.
Cherry Creek is a big fan of using that fullback on the run. Sometimes, put other running backs in there, or Gunnar Helm in there as well.
So now I got a first down. They've got 6:10 left here in quarter number 1. Just 3 yards outside the red zone. And we got an injury timeout. Brody Robinson, the middle linebacker, the 6'3 sophomore, limping off here to the near side. I don't think a team's going to be charged with a timeout. It's just going to be an injury. But he looks to be in some pain here on the near side. Anyway, that gives Coach Dave Logan it's going to be an official timeout. Dave Logan in there with the huddle. Cherry Creek. Perfect. We want to give a quick shout out before this play to Max Weiss. We know he's watching at home. Congratulations to him. He won his lacrosse championship tonight. And I hear he turned 7 on Monday. So happy birthday to Max Weiss at home. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you for letting us take some of your dad's time. That pass complete to Helm once again. Oh, that was Penry, rather. It's going to be a Cherry Creek first down. Six minutes even, so we're halfway through quarter number 1. Bruins lead at 7-0, and as they get down to the 11-yard line, 12-yard line, they're going to be inside the red zone, where they've been perfect so far this season. want to take another minute to talk about Julian Hammond, a .795 completion percentage so far this year. His QB rating, 147.3, Matthew. Some great numbers from Julian Hammond and some flags down. Dave Logan's going to burn a timeout, his first.
Yeah, let's take a moment to talk about Julian Hammond. 79.5% completion percentage. Let's just call it 4 and 5. That's a really impressive figure for a high school quarterback. And he's able to have such a high completion passage ratio because he finds the open man pretty consistently. You'll see here he has 469 yards total. That's a lot of yards over the course of just two games for a high school quarterback. And it's because he can read these defenses, and he knows where his open man is going to be, oftentimes before he even snaps the ball. On the other hand, he also has exceptional wide receivers. He has 2 3-stars headed off to D1 colleges, a junior who's looking really promising, Kai O'Day, and of course Keegan Holes, who always finds a way to get open with his speed and shiftiness.
He's averaging 15.1 yards per throw. And to me, he's just throwing for first downs every single time. He's putting it up in the air. Just threw for his first touchdown, or 10th touchdown of the season, rather. So we'll see some more success for Julian Hammond. But he has at least 30, if not 40 yards so far tonight. So with 5:46 left in quarter number 1, it's 1st and 10 for Cherry Creek on the 12-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the bottom of your screen. Hammond looking to his left. Looks like Penry's there, and it's intercepted.
And you know who deserves some credit on that one? Besides Malik Singleton, the defensive back who manages to get that interception, is the Grandview defensive line. They find a way to get through that Cherry Creek offensive line, break through, give him no time at all to make a decision, and that's pretty tricky for him.
So now after Cherry Creek gets a takeaway, it's a giveaway there now.
Of course, it's a giveaway into an area where there's not as good field position. We talk about it a lot on CCSN. When you have these 80-yard drives, they're just far more challenging to make than the shorter drives. Most high school teams can't complete here. We'll see if Grandview can do it. I think they're up to the task.
They start on the 20. Then they're going to go to the near side, and then a big hit by Purchase, and it's going to be a flag. Wow. Evan Johnson was on the receiver of a huge hit from Purchase. Not sure where the contact was. But it's going to give Grandview a considerable amount of yards. 15-yard penalty will bring them up to the 35.
So talk about good field position. I mean, that nearly doubled their position on the field. And that, of course, just kind of a check down route. I'm sure Grandview has a lot of those in their playbook tonight because they know how aggressive that defensive rush is for Cherry Creek.
That one going to be marked down as a tackle for a loss. It's going to be Cherry Creek's 12th tackle for a loss this season. And we take a look right here. Couldn't completely get control of the ball. So it will bring up 2nd and 13 for Jacob Burr and the Grandview offense. He looks like he's got 4 passing options out there. Johnson in motion again. Looks to his left. And he gets it after it's tipped by Purchase, but then he's tackled behind the original line of scrimmage. So it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 10 for their heads-up play there by Johnson.
That's just a great possession catch. Burr knows Johnson's going to be more than open. Way to grab it.
Highly contested by Purchase, but wow, what a grab there by Johnson. He went into motion as he kind of turned the corner. It's like he's getting a head start when he runs.
He knows Purchase is a speedy guy. Getting that head start is just another way to beat Purchase.
3rd and 11, Cherry Creek bringing the blitz. Burr being rushed out to his right. He's going to have to throw away, but it's intercepted! Enoch Woolfork gets Cherry Creek's 2nd interception of the game.
So we went from 1 interception on the season to 2 to 3. That's that Bruins D-line giving Jacob Burr no time to think.
After Burr had a hard time really getting the snap, the interception there into the hands of Woolfork. So now with 4:01 left here in quarter number 1, Cherry Creek will take back over at the 50. Wow, maybe it is going to be a lot safer to stay on the ground, because we've seen more interceptions tonight than we've seen all season long for Cherry Creek. Looks like Dave Logan's going to burn his 2nd timeout of the half with 4:01 left in quarter number 1. What'd you see there, Matthew?
I couldn't say what he saw. I don't know, Ben. He's so aggressive with the timeouts, and of course, he has such great vision. He has coaches up in the booth next to us watching the field. They have some sort of system going on here where they can communicate with Dave Logan on the sideline. So they saw something, or he saw something that they didn't like. I imagine Grandview's getting creative with the defenses and the offenses this week, just because they know that Cherry Creek, Dave Logan, and this Bruins coaching staff really can scout them out pretty well, and so they need to add some new flavor to their playbook and to their coverage if they're going to try to, be innovative and throw Logan and the coaching staff off their toes tonight.
Going into tonight, Grandview's defense had gotten 5 interceptions, and now they're all the way up to 6 going into tonight. So this defense might be leading the league in takeaways.
Wouldn't surprise me. They're a skilled defense. They've got great vision.
1st and 10 on the 50 for Cherry Creek coming out of the timeout. Penry's going to come back towards Hammond and go back out. Get a look to his left. It's O'Day. O'Day with a catch to the 40. He's going to get away, makes a move at the 20, and gets all the way down to the 18. Kai O'Day has been a guy who has been capable of getting lots of yards after catch. We saw that in his first touchdown of the year, week 1.
Kai O'Day is a guy with speed. And he's a receiver with great ball vision. So he's almost a lot like James Walker in that same sense. He's a junior now, and Cherry Creek has got a lot to look forward to when it comes to next year and their wide receiver options. Of course, Gunnar Helm, Chase Penry, Keegan Holes all graduating. But, not Keegan Holes. Keegan Holes and Kai O'Day together will make a great offensive core.
Unfortunately, a flag that was down at the Grandview 49-yard line. Looks like it's going to back Cherry Creek up 10 yards and bring up 2nd and 20. Probably a hold from the O-line there.
That really does burn, doesn't it?
But O'Day just showed off his speed there, as he has all year long. The temperature's dropping, so's the clock. There's 3:43 left here in quarter number 1. Replay the first down for the Bruins, so now they're back on their side of the field. Hammond get a handoff to Walker. Walker has lots of space to his left, then cuts back towards the middle of the field, and will get up to the 45-yard line of Grandview, so we'll bring up 2nd and about 6, 5.5 or 6 for Cherry Creek. Good job getting lots of yards back there.
The draw play there threw Grandview's defensive backcourt off their toes. They were expecting a pass when Chase Penry and Gunnar Helm lined up far side. And they double up, and when you have the draw play, they oversell, and that leaves a little bit of room for James Walker to weave his way.
Brings up 2nd and 5 with Holes in motion. We've got a flag down. Looks like this one's going to go against Grandview. Neutral zone infraction. Will give Cherry Creek 5 yards, so should be good enough for a first down. Looks like they're going to be less than a yard short. So now they've got 2nd and inches. Now they'll move the chain, so 1st and 10. Hammond gets the call from the sideline. He'll bring it into the huddle. The clock will run with 2:30 left in quarter number 1. Hammond going to look to in the air again. He's being rushed out to his right side. He lets a pass go to Helm, who'll get a yard after he's wrapped up by 2 Grandview defenders. Great job there escaping the pocket from Hammond. So that'll bring up 2nd and 3 for Cherry Creek. So we're now inside 2 minutes. Hammond to give to Walker again. Walker gets to his right side, then cuts back towards the 30 and will get to the 27 and pick up another Cherry Creek first down. James Walker leading the Bruins on the ground this season so far. 20 carries for 236 yards, 118 yards a game there. And so far, 1 touchdown. Pretty dominant on the ground, James Walker.
Yeah, 2 100-yard running games. One of those he only played for 1 half. So just an absolutely dominant player.
And he's filling in for Jaylee Stacks, who's now up in Boulder at CU. He's getting ready for his first game in a couple weeks. Dave Logan's going to take his 3rd and final timeout of the half with 57 seconds left in the first. So we see him use timeouts early, but not usually all 3 of them in 1 quarter.
Well, Ben, I would say that's a true characterization. I mean, he's aggressive with the timeouts, to say the least.
So the Bruins will be out of timeouts, will not be able to stop the 12 minutes and 57 seconds that are left here in the first half. But I can't say I'm too surprised. Dave Logan has a coaching style that clearly works with all of his success. Chilly night here, Matthew. I just can't emphasize it. I can just
We're shivering
feel it
here.
getting colder and colder.
Our glasses are fogging. I feel the most sympathy for the players. Or perhaps even more so the coaches, the Poms, the cheerleaders.
The long cold jackets are out on the sideline. Anyway, Hammond going to drop back to throw. It's going to be a little drop down to Helm again, and that time he successfully hurdles a guy. He's been waiting all year to do it. And there it is. Air Helm has present. Hammond's done a great job after he's been rushed quite a few times, hurried up, but getting little jump passes off. Oh, wow. Showing off the vertical.
He's got the height. He's got the vertical for it.
5-yard gain after all of that. Brings up 2nd and 5 for the Bruins. O'Day will come out to the bottom of your screen. Walker again is taken down behind the line. A tackle for a loss will bring us to the end of quarter number 1 here on CCSN. After one, it's the Cherry Creek Bruins 7, the Grandview Wolves 0. We head to quarter number 2 as the Bruins have a 3rd and 8 coming up, but first we'll take a break on CCSN. We'll be right back in about 25 seconds. looks like we're going to take an look around Colorado football so far this evening. 4 games happening on this cool Thursday night. So as we enter quarter number 2, take a quick look. Fairview and Fossil Ridge are already at halftime. Fossil Ridge 33-0 so far. Valor Christian, an in-league matchup with Mountain Vista tonight. No score as of yet. The ball is loose. After the run from Walker, looks like Cherry Creek will jump on top of it, but it's going to bring up a 4th down. So Matthew, Bone of the Leg Page has yet to have a field goal attempt so far this season, and
I hope so, Ben.
it could be his first, but at that, he's going to be doing it in the freezing cold.
I really hope so, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Dave Logan knows he has faith in Julian Hammond. He's passing for 15 yards on average. He thinks he can do it. He thinks he'll get more points this way. That's that analytics-driven brain of Dave Logan.
So that ball just popped loose from the hands of James Walker. So it brings up 4th and 3. Hammond snap, looks to his right. It's caught by Helm inside the 15. Good enough for a Cherry Creek first down. Some great composure shown by Julian Hammond as he was being hurried.
Yeah, composure is kind of the name of Julian Hammond's game. They say he's got a slow heartbeat, and he's made several key comebacks, not only for Cherry Creek in football, but also for Cherry Creek in basketball. He's such an asset for the Cherry Creek boys basketball team, and it's why Kent Dertinger, the boys basketball coach, and Dave Logan speak so highly of him and how he can really be calm in these strenuous situations.
He's committed to CU Boulder for basketball. Maybe we'll have to play 2 sports up in Boulder. Crazier things have happened.
And apparently he can touch low 90s on the mound, so maybe 3.
That pass was intercepted. Was that really hauled in? Wow! Julian Hammond's going to throw his 2nd interception of the game. We take a look here. Wow!
Wow, that is truly extraordinary.
Caden Rulo with one of the most spectacular interceptions I've ever seen.
Not to mention in the cold weather. Of course, I believe that was number 8, Tanner Lippold of Grandview, closing in.
Austin Loring led the way, and another big tackle for a gain. It brings up 3rd and very, very long. Third and 17 coming up for the Grandview Wolves. We've got 5:25. Rushed out to his right, thrown incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down, and here comes the Grandview punt team.
And to our viewers who missed it, looks like YouTube stopped receiving data from us at one point, so we will have the recording. People will be able to watch from, I think it's about 10 minutes and 53 seconds to 6 minutes, but there was a safety. Grandview was sacked in the end zone by Blake Purchase. Had to punt to Cherry Creek. Cherry Creek gave it up. Grandview's got the ball now.
We apologize for that. Looks like they're going to let that punt bounce to the 11-yard line. A great punt there from Grandview. They back Cherry Creek up deep. There's 5:06 left in half number 1. The Bruins backed up to their 9-yard line. Backed up deep. Hammond's got 4 receivers out there in addition to James Walker in the backfield. He's going to throw quickly to a receiver that's going to get away to the 27-yard line. It's Keegan Holes, the running back, with the short completion there. Lots of yards after catch. It brings up a Cherry Creek first down.
And although Keegan is a running back, he does find a way to get open oftentimes. And they do throw the pass to him more often than not. So Keegan Holes, kind of a dual threat there, both a running back and a wide receiver, in a sense. Cherry Creek's got a lot to look forward to in him because he's a junior currently.
The 18-yard gain puts the Bruins on their own 27. It's going to be James Walker with the carry. Moves up the left side for a 10-yard gain and a Cherry Creek first down.
And Walker, of course, averaging nearly 12 yards per rush. I mean, you can basically average a first down when you rush with James Walker. There again, 11-yard rush, grabbing the first down. What a skilled player, Cherry Creek. So lucky to have him. Him and his talents.
They've got 4 minutes left in half number 1. They're on their own 37. Hammond looks to his right, finds Penry, but it can't be hauled in. It's incomplete. We'll bring up second and long.
Cheers and palms, staying strong tonight. This below freezing weather. Wow. It is crisp. It is crisp out here, Ben.
It's just getting colder and colder, Matty. My toes are starting to feel it a little bit here in Stutler Bowl. 2nd and 10 on their own 37. Hammond is in the shotgun. Throws across to Helm, who looks to get a 14-yard gain and another Cherry Creek first down as they enter Grandview territory. Coming up on 3:30 left at half number 1. On their last possession, Julian Hammond threw an interception, which ultimately set up a Cherry Creek safety, so he did set up some points on the board. Grandview's going to bring the blitz. And in the direction of Chase Penry, the pass is incomplete as he had 2 Grandview defenders on him.
And we talked about in the pregame show, Grandview is going to need to put some double coverage on some key assets for Cherry Creek tonight. Chase Penry being one of them. See it work to their advantage there. Double coverage on Chase Penry. Can't get the completion. Well, if there's anyone you're going to put double coverage on, it's got to be Chase Penry because he is that 3-star recruit headed off to CU next year. 180 ranked wide receiver in the nation. He was our next level Bruin last week.
By the way, stay tuned. Coming up on Next Level Bruins tonight is Al Ashford. So stay tuned to hear about his journey on this Cherry Creek roster. Walker is breaking tackles left and right, and he moves to his left. After breaking 2 quick tackles, he gets a gain of 8 and will set up 3rd and short for Cherry Creek. A great job there with some broken tackles. Third and 3 with 2:30 left in half number 1. They're going to throw. It's completed, good enough for the first down and more.
That again is holes on the reception. We were just talking about him earlier and how he manages to get open in space. He's got 65 receiving yards on the season and actually 0 rushing yards on the season. Of course, even though he's listed as a running back on the roster, he's more of a wide receiver, kind of a check down route kind of guy.
And you'd have to correct me, but with the completion behind the line of scrimmage, does that go down as rushing yards or passing yards?
I do believe it goes down as a passing yard.
Walker with another give. Gets all the way up to the 21. Going to be close to a 10-yard gain.
Of course, if it had been a backwards pass, then I think it would count as a rushing yard.
Gotcha. 2nd and 1 for Cherry Creek. They've got 95 seconds left in the first half. They're on the Grandview 22. Hammond a give to Walker as a gust of wind enters the press box. Could feel that one.
And although it's hard to see on these cameras, there's so much fine mist in the air. Touches your skin. It feels so cold. These football players, these palms, these cheer. The marching band are out here. Boy, are they tough. I don't know how they can be warm over there sitting down in metal chairs.
I'm sure they're not. 120. The run by Walker was good for a first down. Hammond rushed out to his right side. Find holes again. And he's brought down right around the 17-yard line. Clock rolls on. They've got 60 seconds left. And let's remember, Cherry Creek has no timeouts left. We take a look there. A great look at what is in the air right now. A mist, a rain, something of those likes. They've got 47 seconds, the Bruins. Hammond going to throw in Penry's direction, a one-handed grab inside the 5 for a Cherry Creek first down, and the clock will stop as he gets out of bounds.
Oh my gosh. Just an outstanding grab.
Whistles coming in, the official from the far sideline. Real quick, let's hear this because, wow, what a reception. Wow.
Oh my. You don't make receptions like that without having tens and tens and tens of reps, practice after practice.
And it's not even going to count,
That's
Matthew.
that Chase Penry work ethic.
It's
Well,
not-
I'm sure he'll do it again. I'm sure he'll do it again, Ben.
We take a look.
Oh my gosh. That
Wow.
is amazing.
Only have to get 1 foot in high school. He gets 2. Wow.
Chase Penry, what a beast. What a beast.
After the penalty, it's going to be 2nd and 13. The Bruins have 30 seconds left and no way to stop the clock from the sideline.
They're going deep.
Penry going out to the left side. He's there for the touchdown. After the one-handed grab that was waved off, this one is good. And the Bruins are in the end zone on offense for the second time this evening.
You got to feel good for Chase Penry there. He's just been so dominant this season and makes the reception there. It looks like Julian Hammond wasn't going to get it off. Julian Hammond found a way to get it off. Of course, makes up for the fact that his awesome one-handed grab won't be recorded in the stats book. Chase Penry with his 5th touchdown this season, the 2nd one tonight.
Bowden, the leg page is blocked. And there's a flag down.
Oh, my.
He was, I think, 8 for 8 going into that kick on the year. Maybe he'll get another try. It's a neutral zone infraction that will, I think Cherry Creek will decline. Oh, they're going to accept it. Looks like that they're going to bring the offense back out and possibly go for 2. And Grandview might be having some nightmares of some 2-point conversions that ended last week's game at Eagle Crest, a heartbreaker at Legacy Stadium last Thursday night.
And the thing that's strategic about this decision to go for 2 here is they're more likely to make it. They're on the 1-yard line, and that would put them up by 3 scores instead of just 2.
Hammond to Walker. It's going to be close. The far side official says he's in. The 2-point conversion's good for the Bruins, and it's their second 2-point score of the evening. $17-0 to score here at Stutler Bowl. 20 seconds left in half number 1. By the way, we got the Raising Cane's halftime report coming up.
So with 20 seconds left here, Grandview is going to have to hope if they want to score for a 100-yard kick return.
Grandview to receive the second half kickoff. They won the toss and deferred. First time Cherry Creek had lost the statewide toss this year. So bone in the leg Page, after the neutral zone infraction, remains perfect so far as a place kicker. And now beyond the kickoff, his second of the evening. This one in the end zone will be a touchback. And here comes the Grandview offense. We'll see if they just send it into the locker room and try to get warm, which in normal years they'd be able to do, but due to the COVID protocols and the outdoor tents, you might be able to see behind the south end zone. I don't know how warm they'll actually be able to get at the half, or if they try to put some points on the board. Looks like Gunnar Helm back deep for the Bruins. Probably the tallest man on this roster.
Put him back there. Hope that if they go Hail Mary, he can make a stop.
They're going to stay on the ground. And unless they take a timeout, that will... Looks like that will end half number 1. Zelinkus will lead the Bruins off the field. So your score after 1 from the Stutler Bowl. The Cherry Creek Bruins lead the Grandview Wolves 17-0 on the Cherry Creek Sports Network. It was 2 touchdowns, a 2-point conversion, and a safety for the Cherry Creek in the first half. Not the most conventional way to get 17 points. We're going to take a real quick break here on CCSN. We'll leave you with a nice video package and give you some of my thoughts on this Thursday evening. Me and Matthew will see you on the other side of the break. Last year, I ended most of my interviews with a see you soon and good luck for whenever the next game was going to be. Well, everybody, we'll see you at the Coliseum. We'll see you next week.
Sir,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, sir, thank you.
Congratulations. We'll see you next week, Gus. I soon realized that this simple way I ended interviews may have actually been the worst way possible to do it. I told senior Callie Clark inside the Coliseum last spring that I'd see her on Saturday for the state championship, and asked her how excited she was for her last game in a Cherry Creek uniform.
Going into this next game, we're really going to focus on obviously defense. They're huge, and just playing our game and not letting them control the court.
All right, we'll see you on Saturday. Good luck. Little did we know I would not see her that Saturday for the championship, and she'd already played her final game for Cherry Creek. There will be no basketball champions crowned here in the year 2020. Over the quarantine, along with Matt Weiss, we talked to numerous seniors just like Callie who had played in their final game without even knowing it, and I knew that this was likely the last time I would talk to a majority of them. I took my time when asking the final question because I'd learned back in March I should ask every question like it was the last, and for these seniors, it indeed was. When we came back on the air a few weeks ago, I got a reminder from a close friend that each and every week we come to you live is a gift. It's never a guarantee. It's time that we are truly lucky to have and are grateful for. Each play, quarter, game, and season cannot be taken for granted. We should treat every moment we spend together like it's our last because we don't know when the last touchdown will be scored, when the last hug at midfield will be, or when the last championship trophy will be raised. Remember to live in the moment tonight. Cherish the moments we have together and treat each moment like it's your last. I love all the moments we get to share together, and all of you truly are my friends. Thanks for joining us tonight. Let's make it a night to Colorado High School football on CCSN is brought to you by 303 Smiles, delivering amazing smiles for our Cherry Creek Bruins. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, open till 12 a.m. to feed your victory celebration. Raising Cane's on the northwest corner of Parker and Arapahoe. Paragon Homes, your home is one of the most important decisions in your life. Don't trust just anyone to care for you. Go Creek! And by Shump Automotive Group. Visit our showrooms off Highway C470 in Lucent Street in Highlands Ranch and on Havana Street in Aurora. Bruins for the win. Let's go Creek. Well, hello friends, Benjamin Paris welcoming you into the booth at halftime. The Cherry Creek Bruins lead it over the Grandview Wolves 17-0. If you just saw that nice halftime video that we showed, we went into some thought into our production meeting and realized that although a 6-game season was planned from CHSAA, nowhere was it ever said that those 6 games were guaranteed, and we are just so happy that we're now in week 3 of bringing you high school football on CCSN. It's just, it's awesome to have our crew in here and to have everybody out here, but this doesn't happen without tons of hard work. And as I, put it early on in the game, it's almost like a gift when we get to these Thursday and Friday night. It's a gift for us for things that Matthew talked about earlier, our social distancing, our washing our hands, our staying at home and limiting our travel. It's really a gift, and it's a reward that we get here to Friday night. But the thing is, unfortunately, the reward goes both ways, and if we start to fail to do those things, these games can be taken away just like that. So as the Bruins look the road ahead to Mile High all year, they got to take it one day, one game at a time. As my glasses fog up in the cold here, we'll take a quick break on CCSN. Stick with us. Half number 2 is coming up. back out to the Stutler Bowl. Take a look there at the lights. Well, there they are. It's wet.
Fast. You gotta feel for these players. And here, Toms and Martin, because they're out here in the cold. They can't go indoors. Sure is cold. Every drop that hits your skin just makes your skin tingle. We, of course, very lucky in the booth here. We did just get a heater. Hopefully it warms up a little bit.
Thank goodness. So we'll now officially welcome you to the Raising Cane's halftime report here at CCSM. We take a look coming up all around Cherry Creek. Football, the only sport left here in fall season A. Overland is who the Bruins have next Friday night, live here on CCSN, an away game for the Bruins at their own stadium. We saw that happen last year. It happens again. If you saw the halftime show last week, you will know that the cross-country state championship took place last weekend. Matthew, pretty dang successful for the Bruins.
Yeah, well, when we look at the individuals, boys and girls individuals won. Parker Wolf setting the course record at 15:10.4. That is blazing, Ben. That is absolutely blazing. He's running well under sub 5 miles for 3 straight miles. Riley Stewart, of course, just an absolutely standout athlete. Her goal one day is to be in the Olympics, and Ben, at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if we see her there.
She walked behind me in the hall today, turned around, said congratulations. She's such a great demeanor. You know, must be such a great demeanor. You know, someone that you love to see the nice guys win. Nice guys don't always finish last, Matthew. Some more success from the cross-country state championship for the first time since I think 2006 it was. The girls cross-country team won a state championship. By the way, I want to thank our entire crew for being here tonight. All student production. Besides me and Matthew, we have Jonathan Varghese directing tonight, Ella Barclay and Nate Hendon on cameras, Carter Dorgy, scoreboard operator, of course, Matt Weiss, our wonderful advisor. I apologize to Carter, I just butchered his last name. A few minutes away from half number 2, Grandview will receive the kick. Joining us on the Raising Cane's halftime report. We'll leave you with the wet, cold, sub-25 degree Stutler Bowl. We'll be right back with half number 2 on CCSN. Welcome back to the Stutler Bowl here on campus of Cherry Creek High School in Greenwood Village, Colorado. We are getting ready for the second half where Cherry Creek will be kicking off to Grandview. By the way, another quick shout out. Congratulations to the Cherry Creek Youth Lacrosse team. I believe it's a 7-under team made up of kindergartners, first, second graders who won their championship today over at Bible Park. We always love what the Bruins at any level can win, Matthew. So, we know you guys are watching. We hope you enjoy this game before you unfortunately have to go to school tomorrow, Thursday night. That's really the only downside. And the fact that I don't think I set my fantasy lineup over for the NFL Thursday night football. Anyway, half number 2 from Thursday night at Stutler Bowl is underway. The kickoff in the end zone will be a touchback. Grandview looking to put some points on the board, come out of the locker room. And by that, I mean the sideline tent with some momentum.
Receiving the kick here, down by 17 at the beginning of the second half. This is probably their most crucial drive to start to build up that momentum so they can stage a comeback. Grandview's got it in them, but they need to have it in them for the full drive. They need to focus and they need to finish here.
Here comes Jacob Burr and the Grandview Wolves offense. They're going to start on the ground. Probably good for a 2 or 3 yard gain. Man, the Bruins' run defense has just been phenomenal, Matthew.
Well, big credit there, of course, goes to Cherry Creek's defensive line. You know,
brings up 2nd and 7. This time Bird is going to roll out, look to throw a pass in the air. It's going to be short and incomplete of the intended receiver, Spencer Schwartz. Third and 7 now for Grandview after the incomplete pass. Burr looking for Schwartz.
here probably one of the most crucial plays of the game.
Here we go. It's 3rd and 7, 11:24. The ball's on the ground. Looks like Grandview hopped on top of it. And the Jackets are flying off on the far sideline. Here comes the Cherry Creek punt team. Miles Purchase back deep. A low punt in Purchase's area will be picked up after it takes a hop. Purchase looks like he's just going to go straight down the middle with some speed before he's dragged down at the 34-yard line. I say it a lot, Matthew, but he was picking up speed and moving.
Purchase giving them, even if he doesn't make it all the way to the end zone, as he often does, of course gives them great field position here. Takes it from the 48, Cherry Creek's own 48, all the way up to Grandview's 34. So Cherry Creek's just got 34 yards to go. That's a big advantage, Ben. That's an often overlooked advantage, too, because it doesn't go on the stat sheet, really. But Julian Hammond now with much better field position. Of course, his back's also having better field position.
They take over with 10:44 in half number 2. This pass completes to Penry. He's going to juke a man, get to the 10, and dragged all the way down inside the 5
And
to the 3.
And Penry just with this athleticism. It's blown us away tonight. Screen to Penry. One tackle, beats him on speed. Another tackle, beats him on the footwork.
Wow.
You don't get that good without lots and lots of practice. I'll tell you that, Ben. And Chase Penry, he has been practicing a lot. We've seen him at high-end wide receiver camps across the country. He puts in so much effort to his game. That's why it's such a pleasure for Cherry Creek to see him doing so well. See him headed off to CU next year.
Walker in the backfield for Cherry Creek, but it's going to be in the air. It's going to be in the area of Gunnar Helm, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Bruins. Gunnar Helm with his 4th touchdown reception of the season, his first of the night, and the Bruins are on the board first in half number 2.
That's going to be Julian Hammond's 12th touchdown. As you mentioned, Gunnar Helm's 4th. Passing just been such a key for the Cherry Creek offense. Of course, not to forget Bowden the Leg Page, Trey Shriram, and Brady Rads.
This one is up and good over the head of the ball boy in the south end zone and hits the back fence. So, Bowden the Leg Page remains perfect after a little bit of a mishap on the last one, which ended up being a Grandview penalty, setting up the 2-point conversion for the Bruins. It's 24-0. Less than 3 minutes into the half. Both teams with the possession. Cherry Creek, the only team with some points.
I've been pretty staggered tonight by Cherry Creek's ability to stay so strong in the passing game. It's hard to pass when it's so cold out. You know, the ball hurts when it hits your hand, hurts to throw. It's slippier when you're running your routes. Really impressive standout job for Julian Hammond, Kai O'Day, Chase Penry, Gunnar Helm.
Ooh, this one low for Page. And it's going to be brought in with some speed all the way to the right side. He's only got Bowden the Leg Page to beat. He'll slow down and finally be taken down inside the Cherry Creek 30.
Oh, wow. Not often you see a kicker make a tackle. Watch this replay here. Finds the hole, finds another. Breaks through faster than the Cherry Creek kicking team. Bowden Page, wide strides, just trying to keep up. Thank goodness Bowden was paying attention thank goodness for Cherry Creek anyways, because almost got away with that one. This can be Grandview's best field position of the night. Got a real opportunity to score here, put themselves back into contention.
A great return from Tristan Burris. Puts Grandview on the Cherry Creek 29. They're on the ground here. And Al-Safar powers through. And looks like he has a 9-yard gain for 2nd and 1 coming up. Second and 1. They're going to stay on the ground again. It's going to be good enough for Grandview. First down, and they're inside the Cherry Creek red zone. And Jacob Burr will jog towards his head coach, get the call, and return.
Burr, like Hammond, also a basketball player.
Burr has 2 touchdown passes this season. He's looking for his third as they enter the Cherry Creek red zone. Coming up on 8:15 left in the half. It's going to be another handoff to the near side. And get inside the 15, close to the 10. Evan Johnson doing the work in the air and on the ground today. Johnson's been the subject of a lot of those plays where it's just been a little bit of those sweep runs. Second and 5 on the 12. It's going to be another handoff inside to the 10. We'll see where they give him forward progress. It's going to bring up third and short. Big play coming up here as we approach 7 minutes left in quarter number 3. Grandview trying to find the end zone for the first time this evening. Johnson in motion. It's going to be another handoff up the middle. Going to be close to the line to gain. Alsafar with another run, but it looks like it's going to be short and bring up fourth down for Grandview. They've got to go for it here. 4th and 2 is what they have. They're on the 9-yard line. They got to get to the 7. Johnson in motion again to the bottom of the screen. Alsafar is going to get the handoff, and it's going to be stopped by the Cherry Creek Bruins. The 4th down stand. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. Cherry Creek will take back over on their own 11 with 6:14 left in quarter number 3. Luis Lozano in there for Cherry Creek, stopping the run by Alsafar, and the Cherry Creek offense back out on the field. Hammond with 4 receivers out there. Walker to his right. He's going to drop back to pass, look to his left, and find Chase Penry. For what looks to be a 6-yard gain. We'll bring up second down halfway through quarter number 3. Hammond out there with the same 4 receivers. This time Walker lines up on his left. He's going to pump fake after he hands off to Walker, who gets straight up the gut, all the way up to the 28-yard line. 11-yard gain, good for a first down. Bruins sticking with the same 4 wide receiver set. Hammond will give to Walker again. This time he's going to run to his right and get across the 30 up to the 31 and a half. Good for a gain of 3. inside 5 minutes now.
Dave Logan, of course, holding on to all of his timeouts, at least so far. Honestly, a bit surprising.
Hammond again. This time it passed to his left side to Keegan Holes. It's going to bring up 3rd and long after the short gain, if any. Four minutes in quarter number 3. The Bruins have a 3rd and 8 coming up on their own 30. So a 3rd and long coming up for the Cherry Creek offense. Hammond rolling out to his left. He's got plenty of time. Finally rushed and will just have to find a receiver. Looks like he was looking towards the sideline. Instead, he finds James Walker for a gain. It's going to be short of the 4th down. It looks like the Cherry Creek punt team will head out onto the field.
Well, a couple of things to say there, Ben. Number one, credit to Julian Hammond for, taking his time, and then he's got this pass rush closing in on him, but he still manages to find a receiver, that pinpoint accuracy. Second thing is, that sure did look like a touch football play, didn't it? I mean, they're all running around. They complete the route, and then they got to come back, find some magic.
I would know a lot about that. Going to take a friendly Cherry Creek bounce. Looks like it'll be down at the 18. A great punt there from Bowden, the leg page.
It's really an exemplary punt for a high schooler. I mean, took it from their 30 all the way down to opposing 20. That's impressive. And I suppose that's why he does have the title, The Leg, after all.
Well-deserved title.
He did earn it, Ben. We put him out to the test earlier this season, didn't we?
He's been perfect so far. Has had nothing blocked. Everything's gone in. Pretty good stuff from Bowden, the leg page as the season rolls on here in week 3. Grandview takes over on their own 17-yard line. It's going to be another handoff and going to be a short gain. Second and 8. Now for Grandview, we'll take another look at Al-Safar's run. One, two, three, 4 Bruins there to stop him, Matthew.
He's a physical guy. That's why he's Grandview's leading rusher by such a large margin, is he can get through 4 Bruins to take you down. You got to be a strong guy. You got to be physical. You got to be tough.
Johnson's coming across in motion. Burr's going to keep it for himself.
And Burr again on the rush.
And looks like we have an injured Wolf on the field.
Ooh. You know, this cold weather, it's easy to get injured. You're not extraordinarily well stretched. Your bones are cold, your muscles are tired, and that's going to be 71 Chase Thayer. He is their left tackle. He's probably their most valuable player on the O-line. And that's really a big loss for them if he is injured. Hopefully he's just okay, a bit shaken up or a bit tight. This cold weather really is brutal, and that field is cold and wet. Falling onto that field must just be miserable. Luckily, these Grandview Wolves are a tough bunch. Hopefully we see Chase Thayer in by the start of the 4th quarter.
Just 2 minutes and 21 seconds left to the 4th quarter. But before that, we're going to have to talk about our next level Bruin, Al Ashford, this week. That's coming up next at the conclusion of quarter 3. Third and 4. Burr's going to roll out to his left. Finds a receiver off the fingertips of Noah Salazar. It's incomplete. And here comes the Grandview punt team after they could not convert on 3rd and 4 rather. 4th and 4 coming up.
Miles Purchase back again in proximate territory to his previous return. Maybe we see another big one from him, Ben.
Matthew, what's interesting to me is that we don't see a lot of blockers out there. Cherry Creek usually has 3 guys out in front of their punters. Not the case for the Grandview Wolves, as Purchase will let this one bounce inside the 40, be downed at the 38. Cherry Creek will take back over inside 2 minutes.
Cherry Creek 3 out of 3 timeouts. I mean, that might be the first time that's happened this season with how aggressive Dave Logan is on the timeouts. I think soon here you might see them start to sub in some of those second string guys, try to prevent those injuries, get some fresh legs in, get those second stringers some extra practice, especially the younger ones, because they'll be our starters come next year.
Hammond back out there, the same set we've seen all second half. He's got Helm open, wide open at that. With the reception inside to the 20, going to break towards the right sideline inside the 15. Down to the 10, he can't be taken down as he dives in for the score. Touchdown,
Wow.
Gunnar Helm.
Wow.
You want to talk about yards after grab. Pretty great display there from the senior tight end.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ben, that's why he's headed off to Texas. He's 6'6", 225. He uses that physicality to escape some of those tackles. And, man, hopefully you have the opportunity on YouTube to go back and rewatch that, because that is just very impressive.
Burn to the leg page, on for the extra point, up. And very good.
I know I will rewatch that one tonight. So will Gunnar Helm.
We take a look now. Al Ashford, Arden Walker of the Cherry Creek defense, supporting the offense that just scored. And we've got next level Bruin Al Ashford coming up in 1 minute and 38 seconds. Great journey for Al. I'm excited to talk about it.
Me too, Ben. Really a rather inspiring story. We're real happy for him here in CCSN, and so is the rest of the football team, of course. There he is talking to the ref. He's a nice guy, Ben. You know, he's involved with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Oh, that's only on our camera, sorry.
Guys, couldn't quite see that one, but
Yeah, that was on our preview cam. My
chatting
bad.
up the official on the far side. And now you can see Julian Hammond, who has had quite the night. I think 3 touchdowns?
I want to say 4 passing touchdowns. Take it from 9 to 13.
Ah, yes, with the 2 2-point conversions, yep. That one in the end zone for the touchback. And the Cherry Creek defense is back out there. They're having a great night tonight. There you see Zelinkus, Medeka Dunmi. Looks like they're joined out there by Hank Zelinkus, younger brother of Gus.
Hank and Gus brothers, they come from a family of linemen. Of course, their dad, a lineman at UCLA. They, of course, are on the defensive side of things. Defensive linemen, so athletic. They're explosive off the ball. 2 fast guys despite being so big in size.
Burr with another handoff. This one up to the 24 for Al-Safar. Second down and 6. Coming up from Grandview. Came up short last time. They were in the red zone. I guess that was 2 drives ago. We're going to keep this one. Try to find a receiver. Just can't get Spencer Schwartz on the run. Got to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Wolves. .60 seconds exact left in quarter number 3 on a very, very cold night at the Stutler Bowl.
And unfortunately, Grandview not able to resub in Chase there. He's still here on the sidelines getting tended to. Instead, subbed in Chase Melcher, sophomore, 6 foot 160. Big guy, he can hold his own.
Berger to drop back, rolls out to his right side after the pocket collapse, being chased down by Hayden Zelinkus, and will run out of bounds just short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up 4th and short. Let's see what Grandview decides to do here with 54 seconds left in the quarter. Punt team it is.
Miles Purchase is happy.
An interception for Purchase tonight. Return to kick, a punt, rather, for a touchdown in the last game against Cherokee Trail. Wants to do it again tonight, extend the streak to 2. High one there. Isn't going to touch this one either inside the 35. Still got a quarter and 43 seconds left for Miles Purchase to try to complete the Miles Purchase special, where he, I guess for the special, it has to be a pick 6. He did that last year on multiple occasions. But interception here for Purchase, he wants to add to his stats.
Purchase, of course, he'll be letting us know his commitment on October 31st, Halloween, live on CCSN.
Maybe we'll see some costumes that afternoon on CCSN.
Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Hopefully we'll see his commitment, too. I think that's the more exciting part.
This is true.
And gosh, it sure is chilly out. These football players have remained tough despite the harsh weather.
Some confusion on the Cherokee side of things, and it looks like we were almost going to get through a full quarter without a Dave Logan timeout. But with 43 seconds, he takes his first of the half.
And gosh, it's 27 degrees out now. Whew. It's about the low for the day. That sure is chilly.
By the way, while we're talking, we want to wish the best to those up in the Grand Lake area because of the wildfires happening all across the state. You are in our thoughts right now, man. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures, but it is surreal up there, Matthew. It's on, the things you look at on, social media is you never thought you'd see it.
Well, we're praying for them, Ben, and we feel very fortunate here. Despite the harsh weather, we know that in other places it has been harsher, and we really are praying for them.
Sunday, Monday, we got snow expected, at least in the metro area, in typical Colorado fashion. It's going to get up to 60 on Saturday first, but then we'll see the snow. 30 seconds was what we have left in the third quarter. Walker heads to the sideline.
Cherry Creek looks to be wanting to get off just one more play before the end of the quarter. Or perhaps not, actually. They'll just
4
let it
seconds
run.
separate play clock and shot clock. So we'll head to the Cherry Creek Next Level Brewing. My new favorite segment. Tonight we got Al Ashford. Matthew, kick it off.
Wow, Al Ashford. Right now, you see on your screen, he's 6'1", 170. He used to be 5'7". Freshman year, he was 5'7", Ben. Didn't make the varsity team. A little bit like Michael Jordan in that sense, I suppose. Didn't make the varsity team his freshman year. But he worked so hard, and he had a growth spurt, bring him up to 6'1", 170. He's now committed to Wisconsin. When he committed, no one but he knew. Not his parents, not his coaches. He really was blessed to be able to choose 100% on his own, and he chose them because he felt like he really connected with the coaching staff. But the coaching staff, of course, only learning of his commitment when he, from a YouTube live stream of the event. One thing that really has helped him in his career, that's allowed him to get these interceptions, these tackles, is how he's worked with NFL players. Prince Amukamara, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, big names in NFL quarterbacks have come down to help Al Ashford, and boy, what a privilege it is for Cherry Creek to have him on their defense. And, of course, Wisconsin, too. You know, he's there. Wow. Oh.
Ball on the ground. Looks like it's going to go Grandview's way.
Fumble on the play will bring the defense out.
Looks like Carlson Tan just didn't quite get it off the handoff.
And it's hard to possess the ball in this cold weather. One more thing I want to say about Al Ashford is I just want to talk about how hard of a worker he really is. Going from freshman team to varsity team, being a top college recruit, he's worked so hard, and part of that comes from his military family, which has really instilled this work ethic in him, as well as being inspired by Roger Scamardi, for example, who showed him his cover 2 technique.
Burr looking deep. Incomplete in the area of Thomas Cole. On that note, yeah, you know, Al moved to Cherry Creek his junior year because he wanted the opportunity to win, and everything just matched up perfectly. He got to be a Bruin, and he got to win a state championship in his first season in Greenwood Village. So Al Ashford, our next level Bruin this week. Just, man, probably one of the best stories on this Cherry Creek roster.
And one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. There's some real heartwarming videos of him and his parents on the internet, you know, being excited about his commitment. So check those out on his Twitter.
And TikTok. Musa Al-Safar with another run. Going to bring up 3rd and long for Grandview. They're on the Cherry Creek side of the field inside the 35. They're on the 32. And that was really the first time we saw Burr go deep tonight. We'll see if he does it again. Almost connected with Cole in the end zone.
He's got the cannon to go deep, I'll tell you that, Ben.
He's going to take it himself and taken down near the first down marker inside the 35. Looks like it should be enough for a first down, and it is. All the way down to the 23. Less than a minute into the half. They're approaching the Cherry Creek red zone. Still trying to get it inside the end zone for the first time this evening. Burr swallowed up by the Cherry Creek defense. Looks like Malik Madekadunmi was in there first.
Malik Madekadunmi, 2 sacks on the season. No, if I'm not counting my stats correctly, at least his 3rd stat, possibly more. 3rd sack, pardon me. But he manages to find a way into the backfield. Feels like almost every play. He's such a physical guy.
Another handoff.
And there he is on the tackle. Just an impressive hustle.
Going into the night, Louis Lozano led the Bruins in tackles. That might change. Madekadunmi has anything to do with it.
Well, Madekadunmi on that previous play got all the way into the backfield, chased the running back out, caught up to the running back. As a defensive end, he caught up to the running back. Such an athletic guy.
Burr going to roll out to his right side. And that one's short and incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th and 9.
And no doubt in Grandview Wolves offense, they're going for it. For them, they just want to put some points on the board.
Burr gets the call. It's 4th and 10. They'd love to convert here and then make their way into the end zone. This one a pass, Intercepted by Cherry Creek. It's Sam Pesner's his second interception of the season. And the Bruins take the ball back with 9:13 left in quarter number 4.
Known affectionately as Pez, Sam Pezner has really been a stand-up guy. He's one of those juniors that we've seen just do so well this season. And one of those guys we're really looking forward to come next season.
Marte Russell out there leading the Bruins offense now.
Marte Russell, of course, the backup, so Julian Hammond's off the field. Marte 5 for 9 on the season with 1 interception.
30 yards on those 5 completions. Russell's going to hand off, get up to the 21. Carlson Tan with the carry, who led the Bruins on the ground week 1. He's going to bring up 2nd and 3. Love to see Marte just go deep. We've seen him in the end zone quite a few times so far. He's going to have to lead a long drive to get back there inside 9 minutes.
Well, this is great experience for him as he looks forward to the next season. 2 seasons, really, because he's a sophomore.
Get a pass to his right. It's complete. To number 24 is not on tonight's roster. We'll try to get a name on that.
We don't always get the most updated roster, Ben, do we?
I won't take it personally if you don't.
So no number 24 listed on the Max Preps roster either. So I don't know, a jersey change, number change, some kind of change of some sort, roster change that we weren't informed of. Anyways, number 24 in your family if you're out there.
Good catch.
Yeah, well done.
1st and 10. Gonna be another handoff, this time to the near side. It's gonna be tackled all the way back at the 35 by, looks like 5, maybe 6, half of the Grandview defenders.
And Ben, it's moments like those that I'm very glad that I do not play football because, by gosh, what would it be like to get taken down by 5 of those big guys? These football players, they're so strong. They're in the weight room, building up their frame. It's important to be strong when you're a lineman like that, as I'm sure no one is surprised to know.
So 2nd and 12 after just the 2-yard loss. Russell looking back, drop to pass. And he completes it up to the 35 to Tyler Dvorak.
Dvorak doing a great job just hauling that in. He's got great vision, connecting with Julian Hammond there. Or, sorry, Marte Russell. Marte Russell, wow. 2nd string to 2nd string, impressive. Gets those hands up high.
Approaching 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Russell leading the Bruins. Carlson Tan will get the ball. It's on the ground, but he will quickly get it back. Looks like Russell go with the on-2 snap count.
Well, Russell, he's a smart quarterback. Doesn't surprise me that he's working up some of those sophisticated snap counts. Maybe even changing offense at the line. Cherry Creek's got a lot to look forward to in Marte Russell.
Pretty mobile too. 2 carries so far this season for 29 yards.
Marte on your screen there, taking snaps under center.
Looks like he's going to pass again. And that one just short of the intended receiver, number 24. will be incomplete. So 3rd and 9 coming up for Russell and the Cherry Creek Bruins. Looks like that one might have just slipped out of his hand. Russell in the shotgun. Puts 24 in motion.
4 receivers set here.
That run to Jaden Jordan, who I believe his first carry of the season will be tackled behind the line. And here comes the Bruins special teams.
And that'll actually be his second carry. Of course, his first carry for 20 yards. The second for not quite as many, but another one of those players we have to look forward to for Cherry Creek over the next couple of years. He's a junior this year.
The Bruins D-line serving as almost like the special teams line out there. Great job at that. Low punt from Bowden. The leg page is going to roll inside the 20 and all the way to the 15. Great job getting that one off, and a great down from the special teams. We're big special teams guys up here at the booth.
Special teams is underappreciated by our standards, of course, Ben.
One of the most fascinating parts of the game, in my opinion.
And 4:40 to go. Cherry Creek trying to hold Grandview off from any points at all. Grandview hoping to score here. Cherry Creek with mostly second stringers and maybe all second stringers, I can't say.
1st and 10, gonna stay on the ground. Carried up to the 17 for a 2-yard gain, bring up 2nd and 8.
We're starting to feel some of the mist in the press box, aren't we, Ben?
We might be changing directions a little bit. I think it might have been a year ago, and I think it was week 7 because you minus 4 weeks, or minus 6 weeks rather, or 4 weeks because of the short schedule this year. But we played Arapahoe, I think, a year ago this week. That game was just as cold, if not colder. That one, me and Weiss were on the field down at Littleton Stadium. And my phone died, and I was confused because I thought that we did that in the heat. My phone died to the cold.
Sure is chilly out here. Cheer, Palms. Marching band went home. Cheer and Palms are still here. You've really got to feel for them.
But rolling out to his near side. That one incomplete, and that was not Burr, actually. Looks like it was Jonathan Brodus, the junior.
Yeah, we've seen him in one time. He has quite the high passer rating, actually, because he's 3 for 3 with 0 interceptions and good for 33 yards. So quarterback rating of 131. That's a high quarterback rating. He, of course, will be the starter, or is expected to be the starter for Grandview next year, as Jacob Burr graduates this year.
He's got a 3rd and 13 on his own 12 right now. He's going to drop back to pass. Being rushed by the Cherry Creek Bruins. Hank Zelinkas in the area. Dragged down, ball's loose. Recovered by the Bruins.
Well, we talk a lot about the Cherry Creek defensive line, Ben, but with the exception of Blake Purchase, they're all seniors. Look at this second string line of juniors and sophomores just really get in there. Hank Zelinskis in the area, younger brother of Gus, with the strip. Wow, wow. That's high IQ football. There's no other word for it. Cherry Creek with their best starting field position of their night.
Sam Lefebvre there with the recovery. So Russell in the red zone on the 13-yard line. Week 1, he threw an interception in the red zone from pretty close to the same spot. So he's got to try to correct on that mistake this time. Ball's on the ground.
Marte does a great job of just getting on it, keeping possession. He's got 2 more downs for another try.
Going to bring up 2nd and 11. Ball must be wet out there. I don't see any referees with a towel either. They usually wipe it off.
Yeah, well, the field is certainly wet. You can see the water. It's reflecting the light, the stadium lights.
And what you saw when we left you at halftime, it's been like that the entire game.
It really has. I was expecting it to dissipate, and it's really more just gotten worse than anything.
We're going on at least 4 hours of this. Russell going to hand off and then quickly swallowed by the Grandview defense. It's going to bring up 3rd and long for Cherry Creek.
And a big hit there from the Grandview defensive line. Speed 93, James Marjoram on one of the stops there. He's 6'3", 225. It's a lot of force.
Clock is approaching 2 minutes. 3rd and 13 for the Bruins inside the red zone. They're on the 17-yard line. Russell under center. Moves to his right side. He's got plenty of space. Nobody saw him. He is in for the score. Russell's going to take it out as he rolled out to his right. Pretty much undefended, and it is a touchdown, Cherry Creek.
Marte, he sees it. He sees it. He's planning to throw. He realizes he's got room to run. He makes that decision. That's high IQ. He's confident in himself. That confidence is what Cherry Creek needs in the quarterback. Marte gets in there. Not even tackled. Marte Russell, man. Someone to look forward to. Also to look forward to is Brady Rads, Shreya Shriram, and Bowden Page are all junior special team corps.
Shreya's out there counting the personnel. They're missing one.
They put Trace in charge of the counting.
He's quarterback in this play. Flags.
And that ball is wet. Just slipping slightly out of the hands of Shreyas there.
It's going to be a false start on Cherry Creek. Going to back up this extra point a little bit. It must be hard for Bow to the leg Page. If your feet's cold and you're kicking a football with some not very thick cleats, because kickers usually with those soccer cleats,
yeah,
it must be pretty hard.
Well,
all in a day's work of Bow to the leg Page.
We're sure Bowden is up to the task. Shriram nails the hold that time.
No good. And there is Bowden the leg Page's first miss of the season. A long streak has unfortunately just come to an end.
Can't tell if it was tipped there. Certainly did take an odd trajectory.
So after he had a 100% rate, it comes to an end here on a 27-degree hazy night at the Stutler Bowl.
Well, it's hard to blame him, Ben. I mean, it really is cold out here. The field is cold. The football's cold. Your feet are cold.
It's cold.
And it's not like that kick was excessively necessary.
2:02 left. Bruins lead at 37-0. Heaters out on the sidelines tonight. The players always like when that happens. You always hear for them when the heaters are not present in the cold.
Well, they got these nice thick jackets too. They quite long. A little bit jealous. I can't lie.
I've always wanted to be in one of those. You know, you see them on TV all the time, the NFL. This must be nice.
Important to stay warm. Keep yourself from getting injured.
There is a
Stay
flag
fresh.
on the kickoff.
I've never seen that before, Ben.
There's 11 guys on the field for Grandview.
11 for Creek.
But we're backing up.
Is that going to be delay of game?
Couldn't have told you that there was a clock on kickoffs.
It's never been an issue.
All right, we'll back him up 5 yards. No issue for Bowden.
Bowden, someone we've seen 8, 9, 10 yards deep into the end zone. added yards every single week.
He'll get the kickoff off with 15 seconds left on the play clock this time, and it will be brought in at the 6-yard line. To the near side, Burris will run out of real estate, and that's where Grandview will take over inside 2 minutes.
And I'll tell you, Ben, this late into the game, it's cold out. These teams don't want to tackle. These players don't want to tackle. But they're staying mentally tough, pushing through it, focusing, finishing. That's what makes Cherry Creek and Grandview two of the top 10 teams in the state.
We've got the number 8 and number 1 team present here this evening, and the number 8 team will run it to the far side. Good for about a 4-yard gain.
Musa Al-Safar once again. We were just looking at his stats. Al-Safar averaging 6.4 yards per carry. That's quite a few, Ben. That's quite a few, to say the least. Owes a lot of that to his all-junior and 1 sophomore O-line. Got a lot to look forward to in the run game moving forward.
Quarterback run here on the right side, and he'll get across the 40, which will be good enough for the first down. Clock will roll on.
And Broadus, very mobile there. That mobility could be such an asset for a team like Grandview. An asset to really look forward to. And with the pace of things, looks like we've only got a few plays left in the game.
Another run quickly brought down by Cherry Creek after a short gain. We've got 40 seconds left. 3 seconds separate game clock and play clock.
That tackle made by Blake Purchase, defensive end / linebacker, brother to Miles Purchase. He's a sophomore, Ben. One of the very few starting sophomores. So physical. A lot to look forward to there.
Gonna roll out to the left side this time. That pass incomplete. With 6 seconds left, looks like we'll have one more play of the contest. And then we'll wrap things up here on the Cherry Creek Sports Network. Not sure if there's much to discuss in the huddle.
Creek cheer and Palms have really stayed strong despite the harsh weather.
Absolutely brutal tonight for those down on field level. So respect to the players, the coaches, the personnel, the cheers, the Palms, everybody involved. And we've got a flag down.
Not to mention our group of fans, parents, family, friends.
Delay of game.
With 5 minutes left, it is certain Cherry Creek's going to come away with the win here. We talked about at the beginning of the session, Ben, at the beginning of the game, Ben, that what's on the line here, and tonight what was on the line was for Grandview, going 2-1 would keep them in it. Cherry make the league title honestly up for grabs. Now it's a little less obvious. A little bit more obvious. We might have an opportunity to get away with the league title.
The tackle at the 45-yard line will get 000 on the clock and bring us to the end of this contest where the Cherry Creek Bruins will come out on top 37-0, their first shutout of the season and a complete game from start to finish as these teams will embrace at midfield.
social distance embrace, of course.
So with that, the Cherry Creek Bruins moved to 3-0, first in the Centennial League, number 1 in the state of Colorado. The Grandview Wolves dropped to 1-2, the first time in recent memory that they've dropped below 500. For our entire crew, we thank you for joining us on the Cherry Creek Sports Network tonight. Our next broadcast coming up next Friday night as the Overland Trailblazers will host the Cherry Creek Bruins right here at Stutler Bowl. That game will be live on CCSN. For my entire crew, I say thanks for joining us. For Matthew Anderson, I'm Benjamin Paris. We'll see you next Friday on the Cherry Creek Sports Network. Have a good weekend. Thank you.